Right. Well, let me just go to the beginning. Okay. Um, okay. So the company I started a few years ago is FindTech-IP, but we have a suite of products, and in fact, those products ended up becoming, I guess, their own like little marketing funnels and kind of their own businesses with their own legs. So FindTech-IP itself is more of a shell that provides uh, three services that are complementary. Um, so each of these three companies obviously have different teams, but the latest uh, the latest offering that I'm excited about that I want to share and get a lot of feedback and try to suss it out and get validation from you guys uh, is related to the field of higher learning. Um, and I'll explain the problem opportunity. Um, so we want to find startups and inventors very early on before advanced investors are able to get a hold of them. And the way that our team has figured that they're able to do that is we have a competitive advantage in IP protection and enforcement, and we have good access globally. Before the pandemic, many of us had issues with uh, getting into certain inner circles because they were not so inclusive. Um, at least that was definitely my experience. Um, Now, the pandemic, as horrible as it is, it really opened up a lot of doors for people who were blocked out of certain institutions. And thankfully, this is all from because of the internet. So most of the people that I'm dealing with are people that I probably never would have dealt with face to face before the pandemic, and that includes investors in Dubai, people in Northern California that are finally starting to connect with people in Southern California. And I had some people in Australia and developers in India. I didn't have these before. Okay. Um, okay, so then we have a lot of technology development skills on our side, a lot of educated people in innovation and entrepreneurship, and an ecosystem of experts. So naturally, we're able to help newbie entrepreneurs and new inventors that don't know where to go or who to trust. Many inventors, as you know, they get ripped off. They get their inventions stolen because they're very naive to the business side, and oftentimes they don't sign NDAs with their investors, and there's a misbalance of power. The inventor just kind of wants to be really nice and respectful and doesn't say, hey, well, you gotta, I gotta protect myself. I need you to sign this before I show it to you. No, if they have an opportunity to be on Shark Tank, they'll do whatever the sharks want. And I know of stories where, the inventions have been ripped off by, big names. So where we come in is that we bring a lot of trust to the table. Anyone who Googles me knows that I have a pretty big history with the USPTO, having worked in it and supplied them with a ton of talent that still works there. But I don't work at the PTO now, but instead I've designed an alternative patent system that is based on blockchain, which the certificates are valid in court, and there are three enforcement methods. So I could get into talent before VC is able to. So that would be a competitive advantage. The other thing is the team that I work with, we're all diverse, and uh, I guess underrepresented founders, they seem to have trust for us because we kind of know where they're coming from. So we're able to click with them pretty good. All right, so the product that I'm explaining to you today is maybe it's disruptive in the field of education. It's e-learning. What we're really trying to do is, at first I wanted to be an IP accelerator, and I still will be running an IP accelerator, but within this school that we're starting, it's going to be a 9-month 9-month accelerated university sort of program with a certificate at the end that's going to be on blockchain, because the universities really should have implemented blockchain credentials years ago. I don't know why they were so slow in adopting technology. And my belief is that a lot of the problems we have today is because the business side did not support the forward movement of good technology. But now that we're in the midst of this chaos and we have a lack of leadership, some people have to just step up, I think, and implement the good stuff that we have and see where it takes us. So yeah, I'm gonna put our credentials at the end of 9 months on blockchain. And I'm gonna try to guarantee that this incoming cohort will have jobs by the end of 9 months. That's a really hard thing to do, but I think I have a plan to do that. So my target audience would be people who maybe don't have the money to spend on a 4-year university, but they have the talent to be an entrepreneur, or anybody who wants to just try something new as opposed to committing to a 4-year university. And this was initially just kind of a parody idea. So like, I'm going to tell you the name of the university, but because it's a parody, it's not an infringement on any trademarks. I checked it out. So the program is called Stanford 405. It's for people who want, people like me who want to go to wanted to go to Stanford, but got stuck around the 405. Okay. So anyway, the value proposition, it's more affordable, obviously, and the guaranteed job placement, because at the very least, what I will do is, because we're going to be training them on IP and blockchain. I do have a IP and blockchain company that I would love to have anybody that has expert knowledge on it help me out and get paid for it. So it's immediately usable education. 9 months and you have a job. That's pretty competitive. The other value we provide is just our deep network of foreign investors, foreign innovators, and local people that are just damn good with tech, so we can help with tech development. What else? And the IP that we discussed is a competitive advantage, a value proposition. Okay, so underlying magic is that school that we're starting. Now it's a commercial school. It's not anything like with public granted or whatever that we have to deal with governments. No, it's just more something between an accelerator and like a DeVry kind of thing. So we're cheaper and faster than going to university, low cost patent protection. We can provide it to our students for $250 a patent. Forget paying 15 grand to get one invention protected. The game doesn't work like that anymore. And we have high trustability in the patent field. I do some talks, and I'm going to do them more frequently, interviews more frequently with people who have had their inventions stolen by big tech, government, and even sharks and investors. So these interviews are slated with people who are kind of well known if you are in the system and you Google their name, but I want to get their stories out even broader. And when I do that, then people see what the reality of invention theft is, then they have a little more trust for this other company of ours, which is called patents.vc, which that company, they secure the IP, and then we sell the startups to the next level up investor. So it's kind of like we get them in really, really early, we educate them, help them out, sell them to the investor network. It's nothing really new, it's just being more competitive than what's been out there. Okay, the business model. Okay, what we're really trying to do in terms of social benefit, we're really trying to focus on Lebanon. Lebanon is in the midst of chaos, and there are students just really hurting from a lack of opportunity. there's very little innovation in Lebanon, and it has been like that for years. They do not have a patent office, and it's really a prime opportunity for a group like ours to get in there and help them out to implement our blockchain solution that we have here in the U.S. I think it'll be a lot easier to implement and sell in Lebanon, just because they need it so desperately. Our hope is also that as long as we start educating a few there, innovation could spread like wildfire once they figure out how easy it is to protect an idea and to market it, to connect with it, connect with a network. Once there's more people there, a network will develop. That's our plan. But I think we're definitely focused on Lebanon, and we're providing two scholarships to 2 female students from Lebanon. Our cohort is going to be 10 people. The tuition, what we're thinking right now is $9,000, but I'm not a pricing person. If it's too high, yeah, we could. I mean, I personally don't care about the price, but I have to talk to a pricing person about that. Job placement guaranteed. Okay, the go-to-market plan, obviously, through our network of friends in Lebanon, we do have a good amount of them. A partnership that we're working on with AUB. My dad went to AUB, and some of my friends went there, so that one seems like it's pretty easy to get. And then content marketing, which we have started doing this week. The competitive analysis. Really, our competition is the four-year universities. I think it's pretty easy competition to play against, because my experience with the universities has been they want my money, but they provide me with no leadership. I don't see the point in that. And then the investors, that's the big competition, because I'm very new in the field of actually being an investor. It's hard for me to compete with the guys that have been doing this for generations, that like the Drapers of the world and stuff. So I have to find a smarter way to compete. And my only my main competitive advantage is that no one can touch me on IP protection and IP enforcement. Okay. The team right now is these 4. Well, myself, I'm the founder. Vanya is a lawyer from Berkeley, and she went to Columbia. She's an author, and she would be our counsel as well. So she has a good amount of information to teach any startups. She deals with corporate formations and things like that. John Freeman is a graduate of the Masters in Innovation and Entrepreneurship at UC Irvine. That's a very good program. He was in the inaugural class, so he was part of forming that inaugural class. So he would be perfect for helping us form the inaugural class of Stanford 405. Lastly is Sai. He's an MBA, and he brings on a lot of the management, technology management and product stuff that the rest of us don't have. Yeah, so he's a good teacher in that sense. And as you know, we're all pretty diverse, so I think we could connect pretty well with people who may not feel so comfortable studying in an American institution. Okay, so current status, like I said, it's very new, this idea. We just launched this week, and we have mandatory orientation for the 10 students or startups from 9/16 through 9/22. We will provide low-cost patent protection for every entering startup, guaranteed. And I'll see if I can even make low cost be no cost. I may be able to do that. The last thing is, if we need funding, it'll probably be $100K for 2 years salary for the workforce and any kind of tech fees, tech development. I don't think that's a lot of money for what we're providing, and 20 startups will be produced. That's all I have, guys. Yeah, I'm not a great presenter. I apologize for that, but it was the information I wanted to get out.
You did a good job, Paul.
Yeah,
I just had a couple questions. So